Welcome to Silicon Valley Asian Business Talk.
So my name is Melvin, and I run a startup that focuses on helping founders to operate their companies. So essentially, we serve as an operations manager to take care of all the compliance, their financial operations like accounting and bookkeeping, as well as the people operations like payroll, recruiting. The goal is to essentially simplify the process of running a company for the founder so that they can save time, keep their focus on the really strategic aspect, and leave all the operational work to our platform. So we built a business in Singapore, and we're now in the US. So the company in Singapore is called Starboard, but the product we're going to launch in the US, or we're in the process of launching with some early customers already, is called Stellar.
Discussion topic: how do I manage pivots in my 3 ventures?
Searching for the right product, right direction, called a pivot, right?
Yeah.
Do you have any kind of advice or wisdom or examples of managing these kind of pivot? Which is it's an extremely important, frustrating, but necessary component.
This is my third technology startup. It's my fourth business, and I focus this time around very much on solving a real problem. My first few companies, we focus on building something for the future. Right. My first company was an indoor positioning company. We use Wi-Fi signals to locate people indoors. No, not people, mobile phones. And we enabled building owners to figure out, to understand how people were behaving in their shopping malls, in the hotels, in the hospitals, right? So this was built in 2010, very early on. And we were essentially, at that point in time, building something for the future, because at that point in time, people just didn't really know, didn't really know how useful all that location data could be for their operations and for their marketing and every aspect of the business. This time around, we're choosing to build something today. Founders need help with operating the company, right? And there are existing solutions out there, but I find that many of the existing solutions have gaps in terms of efficiencies, effectiveness, and overall, user experience or customer experience. So that's how we got started. And because it was a real problem that we were solving, there was an existing market, it's easier to build a business because people are already paying for that solution. So we just focus 100% on making sure that we innovate and build something on top of the existing solutions that are out there to create a different experience for customers. So I've run 3 startups so far, right? So the first one, we made slight adjustments to how we position ourselves. It was an indoor positioning company. We started off by saying that we're going to help building owners, reach out to or send very targeted messages to people who are in the buildings, right? Later on, we realized that the most valuable proposition we could create was analytics, not so much the ability to reach out, but more the ability to understand. So it wasn't much of a pivot. We started very clearly focused on indoor positioning technology and indoor positioning solutions or indoor analytics. We stuck with it all the way until we were acquired. For my second company, I started a business that's focused on commissioned art. And it was, I joined an accelerator program here in the Valley, here in the Bay Area. And we were pivoting from day 2 because the founders of the accelerator program very wisely said that it's not a large enough market, to be really exciting. And so we're pivoting on day 2 and we tried different businesses. So I handled that. We had a great team. The reason why we wanted to pivot was because I had a really great team and we just wanted to find a business that we were excited about, right? That didn't go anywhere because we ended up in a joint venture that, that kind of failed. Actually, no, it did fail, right? It failed because our joint venture partner essentially did not follow through on forming the joint venture. So that's a separate story altogether. So I've experienced pivoting from one market to another. And in this current business, we started off building an operating system for founders. And as we started discovering more and more, and as we started validating our theses on what customers really want, we are changing our perspective, right? And so that's why even for the US, we have a new product, a new brand. And I shared this analogy with my team recently, and I say that building a business is like going up an elevator, right? You start off by seeing the world at this level. And if you're experimenting fast enough, you're doing the right things, you're talking to the right people, your experience should be, that of going up an elevator. The higher you go, your perspective changes. And when your perspective changes, the old ways of doing things has to change. And so we can't get sentimental about, what we were building when we were at this level, right? At this level, our worldview changes. So I think the most important thing is perspective. How we see the world, very profoundly affects every single thing that we do. How we talk to a customer, the very customers that we're choosing, what kind of features we build, and maybe more importantly, how we think about the features that we're building, right? So we could generalize it, or we could consider our lives, our journey in building companies or products. We could view it as going up an elevator, whether as an individual or as a team. Right? And the way I like to think about it is, as an individual and as a team, we're all going up this elevator and we're constantly refining our perspective. And what's important for us is to be aware of our worldview, our perspective of things, and alter our tactics accordingly.
Thank you for watching.